Notre Dame has its first wide receiver commitment in the 2027 class. We're going to talk about this news with Blue and Gold's Tyler James. First, folks, hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to the Blue and Gold YouTube channel for more content. And of course, we have much more coverage of this news over on the website blueandgold.com. The commitment is Jackson Coleman from Valor Christian in the Denver area. Not ranked very highly, but we'll pop on the tape, give some more context, give some more information. He has a 3-star prospect, but just take a screenshot of this 886 national, 125 wide receiver. And let's check in about 7 months and see if he's still ranked there. I have a feeling that he's going to be ranked much higher, but without further ado, Tyler, let's dive into the tape. Tell me what you see when you're watching his film.
Yeah, obviously a tall, skinny target, but you love his long speed as a vertical threat. He gets great releases at the line of scrimmage and then just sort of puts defenders behind him on deep balls, which you'll see a lot of in the highlight films. He tracks the ball well in the air, which I think is something that is underrated for deep ball catchers. He can make difficult catches with guys either on his hip or making a leaping catch at the point at the highest point where the ball is at. He's solid after the catch. He has the speed to run away from guys. He breaks some tackles, makes some moves, doesn't go down a lot on first contact. Like this clip just makes you dizzy the way it's filmed, but he unless he's like getting hit in the act of catching the pass, he doesn't seem to go down on first contact a lot. They like to use him a lot on some deep crossing routes to allow him to find space and coverage and sort of pick up yards upfield. He's a capable wide receiver. I compared him a little bit to Dylan Faison, the way they use him. It's sort of like Dylan Faison in high school. They just like throw him the ball deep and he'll make plays on it. He tracks the ball well. And has good speed. He's taller, so I'm curious to see how Jackson Coleman continues to fill out his body. He doesn't seem that physically imposing as like a potential boundary receiver right now. I think he honestly plays probably more like a field receiver in high school. But obviously, there's a long way to go in terms of his physical development to be a potential boundary receiver if that's where he ends up going.
Just watching him, he seems like one of those kids who's just like obnoxiously good at every sport. Like I could see, like because he doesn't seem that polished as a wide receiver yet, which I think is a good thing. He's kind of coming in as a ball of clay to Notre Dame, and like he's just fast. Like his second track meet ever, he ran like a 10.7 in the 100-meter, and then I think his personal best is a 10.67 in the state finals or something like that. It was like his 5th track meet. Like, and I just feel like he just probably started playing football a few years ago and he's just like really good at it. Like that's kind of the vibe. Like I bet he's really good at basketball and he could probably pick up a tennis racket and be pretty darn good at it. Like that's just the kind of vibe I get with Jackson Coleman. So you're talking about someone who's, 6'3.5", 6'4", and runs a 10.67, and that 10.67 is last year. That we're talking last spring. So I just feel like he's got a lot of developing to little comeback and go. You don't see that route very often. And a nice diving
catch.
Why was that 250?
Yeah, he buried that one too far into the highlight reel for sure.
What are we doing, Jackson? Yeah, I just feel like when you think, probably when you first see Jackson Coleman's profile, you think, all right, he's this cat's probably like a possession guy. Like no, he is a vertical threat who has a lot of polishing to do, and when he adds that technician ability to his game as a route runner, I think the ceiling is actually pretty darn high for this kid. And his his head coach should be someone who Notre Dame fans are familiar with, Tyler James.
Yeah, Mike Sanford, former quarterbacks and offensive quarterbacks coach and offensive coordinator at Notre Dame. He's got back into coaching at the high school ranks and does some media stuff out there in Colorado too. And interesting to see Notre Dame get into this recruitment, and obviously a very short recruitment in terms of the time from Notre Dame offering him to the time he gets on campus and then ends up committing.
Yeah, it was just 3 weeks ago or so that Notre Dame, I think it was one of the first couple days that the spring contact period opened up. Notre Dame director of recruiting Carter Almond went to the high school and offered him pretty much right on the spot. And, this is look, he's not ranked very high, but he had some strong offers. Michigan offered him recently. This one came down to Notre Dame and Oregon. And, I was told that Oregon was pushing pretty hard. Dan Lanning took a personal interest in this recruitment, was contacting him all the time. So for Notre Dame to just offer, again, like less than a month ago, and quickly become a contender. He visited for the blue gold game, I believe. And well, that's another nice catch. What
Yeah.
I mean, that should be higher up. Maybe I'm wrong on this whole. He's got more polish than I thought. Maybe look at that coming back to the football there. I mean, this is really good wide receiver work. The corner just sits down on him, breaks, comes back to the football. Yeah, I mean, this is a darn good looking prospect. But yeah, a significant win for Notre Dame over Oregon. Just took one visit to South Bend, and that's all that Notre Dame really needed. Any other thoughts here, Tyler? We talked about like this is the first receiver commitments. And it's I think it's a good one to take, especially if Notre Dame's taking a small receiver class. Get Coleman in, see if the dominoes can start rolling. Maybe someone like Cade Cooper, who we've liked the Irish playing for quite some time. Maybe he's like, oh man, maybe I should push up my commitment timeline. And then Julius Jones Jr., of course, the son of Julius Jones Sr., former Notre Dame running back. We like where Notre Dame's at there. So if they take three, I think a class of Coleman, Jones, and someone like Cade Cooper, you'd be really excited about. There's also Trent Yancey from Texas, Osani Gales from IMG Academy in Florida, originally from California. There's still several receivers on the board to watch.
Yeah, Brennan Lacey, a guy that's great speed, that was a running back recruit, and then they're like, you know what, let's just keep recruiting him as a receiver. Because he provides so much talent on the field. So yeah, I like this. Probably not a receiver that's like you want this to be the gem of your receiver class, but I think he's someone that has high upside. Don't see a lot of recruits out of Colorado for Notre Dame, but Valor Christian. I believe it's where Christian McCaffrey went. I would assume all of his brothers went there. So I think it's like sort of probably the high profile program out of that state. And so for Notre Dame to get in there and get him, obviously Mike Sanford's the coach, so there's probably a little bit of an easier transition to recruiting at a school that maybe Notre Dame doesn't recruit a lot at, but a good prospect that can do a lot. I think you're right in that he is raw, but I think you can see the signs of like where he's taken coaching and has continued to get better with that. And obviously I think has a lot more room left in his game to improve.
All right, so that is the commitment, Jackson Coleman from Valor Christian in the Denver area, listed at 6'3", 195 pounds. So more coverage at blueandgold.com. Make sure you lock into this YouTube channel. And as always, we will catch you next time.